1971 no mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yep, you heard me right. Million with a capital M. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you what makes this little copper disc so insanely valuable, how to spot one, and I'll even share a hilarious story about the time I accidentally almost threw away $1 million penny. Talk about close calls. Okay, first things first, the 1971 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you're picturing a regular penny from your grandma's couch cushions, you're kind of right, but with a twist. Normally, pennies have a tiny letter showing where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But this particular 1971 penny, no mint mark at all. Sounds normal? Not quite. The big deal here is that very few of these no mint mark pennies were actually made or survived. And the ones that do exist have some sort of weird rarity combo that makes collectors go bananas. But wait, $1.8 million. That's nuts. Why so pricey? Well, collectors go crazy for rare, minting errors and limited runs. And this one is like the unicorn of pennies. It's like if you found a pizza slice with extra cheese, pepperoni, and a sprinkle of gold dust. Everyone wants a bite. And speaking of crazy finds, I gotta tell you about the time I nearly tossed out a penny that could have been worth a fortune. True story. I was cleaning out my old junk drawer, the one with batteries from 1997 and a ton of expired coupons. And there it was, just chilling under a pile of old receipts, a 1971 penny. I didn't think much of it, so I was about to throw it in the trash. But then, out of nowhere, my buddy texts me and says, "Dude, check if it has a mint mark. You might be sitting on a gold mine." So I grab a magnifying glass, squint like I'm reading a secret message, and boom, no mint mark. Suddenly, that penny went from a to $1 million baby. Long story short, I didn't throw it away, and yeah, I still keep it locked up safe, unlike my junk drawer, which is still a disaster zone. So what exactly makes this penny worth a fortune? There are a few key things. First, its rarity. The 1971 no mint mark pennies weren't supposed to exist in large numbers, so collectors get excited when one pops up. Second, condition matters. If it's in super clean, uncirculated condition, it's like the Rolls-Royce of pennies. And third, history buffs love it because it's a neat little piece of the U.S. Mint's mystery vault. Just to put this in perspective, most pennies worth about 1 cent, but this one worth more than some sports cars, college educations, and even that fancy espresso machine you splurged on last year. Okay, so you're wondering, how do I know if I got one of these magic pennies? Here's a quick checklist. Look for the 1971 date. Check for the absence of any mint mark. If there's a tiny D or S, it's probably a regular penny. Make sure it's in great shape. Scuffed pennies don't get the big bucks. And, super important, if someone offers you one for $5, don't jump. It might be legit, or it might be a prank. Get it appraised by a real coin expert. So, there you have it. The incredible story of the 1971 no mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. Maybe you've got one hiding in your couch cushions right now. Or maybe I've inspired you to check that junk drawer once more. If you enjoyed this video and want more fun tips on coins that are worth big bucks or clever strategies to spot hidden treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next penny that might just change your life. And hey, if you've got a crazy coin story, drop in the comments. I love hearing about those wild finds. Until next time, keep hunting those coins, and may your pennies always be lucky. 1973. D-Mint Mark Lincoln cent, and why one of these little guys is selling for nearly $2 million. Grab your magnifying glasses, folks. This is going to be good. So, first off, what's the deal with this 1973 D penny? Well, D stands for the Denver Mint, and 1973 was a pretty standard year for pennies, except for a very rare mistake coin that collectors lose their minds over. Cue dramatic voice, the 1973 D Lincoln penny with a mint mark double struck. That means the tiny D on the coin got stamped twice by accident, kind of like when you press your face against the glass twice and get that weird double nose print. It's rare, it's quirky, and collectors are obsessed. Why so valuable? Because minting errors like this are incredibly rare. Only a handful exist. And when a coin is both historic and a minting mishap, collectors are willing to pay millions to get their hands on it. Seriously, a regular 1973 penny? Worth 1 cent. But this bad boy, 1.9 million. Here's a little story. I once found a penny stuck in my couch cushion. You know, the classic, where did you even come from scenario? It was just a regular old 1987 penny, but for a split second, I imagined it was a 1973 double mint mark. My heart started racing. I even grabbed a magnifying glass, only to realize, nope, just a boring old penny. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. You never know when a couch coin could be your ticket to a Lamborghini. Now, if you think spotting a 1973 D penny is like finding a needle in a haystack, you're absolutely right. But here's a quick tip for you treasure hunters. Always check the mint mark. That little letter D can make all the difference. And if it looks funny, double struck, blurry, or like it tried to escape the coin, that's your golden ticket. Also, the condition of the coin matters. Collectors want their million-dollar babies looking shiny and crisp, like they just came out of the mint yesterday. So, keep your coins safe, clean, but not too clean. We don't want to scrub away history. And if you're ever unsure, hit up a professional coin grader. So, what did we learn today? That sometimes pennies aren't just pocket change. They're potentially millions in disguise. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny is a shining example of how a tiny minting mistake can turn into a massive treasure. Next time you dig through your coin jar, don't just toss those pennies aside. Who knows? You might just find your own $1.9 million miracle hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you want more wild stories, insider tips, and the lowdown on coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell so you don't miss out. Your future millionaire self will thank you. 1982, no mint mark Lincoln penny, so special. Let's rewind a bit. First, a quick refresher. Pennies usually have a mint mark, a tiny letter that tells you where they were made. Philadelphia pennies famously have no mint mark, but here's where it gets interesting. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a little change. They started switching from the old copper-heavy pennies to mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. Because of that, the 1982 pennies came in two metal types, copper and zinc. But here's the kicker. Some of the copper pennies minted in Philadelphia accidentally had no mint mark, and only a handful exist. Like, seriously rare, almost mythical. And because of that tiny difference, these coins have become insanely valuable. So, if you have a 1982 penny with no mint mark and it's copper, you might be holding something worth a cool $1.7 million. Yes, million with an M. And no, I'm not just messing with you like that time I found a rare penny and then realized it was just my lunch money. True story. I once found what I thought was a super rare coin in my couch cushions. I rushed to show my grandma, who's been a coin collector forever. Turns out, it was just an old token from a pizza place. But hey, it tasted like victory. Back to business. Now, why so valuable? Because collectors love the rarity, the story, and the shiny copper. The 1982 no mint mark copper penny is like the coin world's version of a celebrity cameo. It's rare, unique, and everyone wants one. But before you start hunting through every jar of pennies, here's the reality check. These coins are extremely rare. Most 1982 pennies with no mint mark are zinc, and zinc pennies are basically worth face value. Yep, just 1 cent. So how can you spot one? It's all about weight and color. Copper pennies weigh more and are a bit darker. Zinc pennies are lighter and have a brighter look. If you're serious about this, investing in a precise scale and maybe a magnifying glass is the way to go. To wrap up, the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln copper penny is one of the most valuable pennies ever made, worth up to $1.7 million for the lucky owners. If you stumble on one, don't just toss it in your coin jar, get it appraised, and maybe don't quit your day job just yet. All right, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions or that old piggy bank, here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because I'll be dropping more crazy coin facts, tips, and money-making strategies that you won't want to miss. Who knows? Your next penny might just be $1 million winner. 1984 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent. A coin so rare it's worth, wait for it, $1.6 million. Yep, you heard me right. $1.6 million bucks just for a tiny penny. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just want to go digging through your couch cushions. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 1984 Lincoln penny is nothing new, right? It's one of those everyday pennies with Abraham Lincoln's face on the front. But here's the twist. The no mint mark variety is super rare. Why? Well, back then, the Philadelphia Mint usually didn't put any mint marks on pennies, but in 1984, things got a little weird. Most 1984 pennies came from the Philadelphia Mint, and typically, those pennies have no mint mark. So what's the big deal? The thing is, some 1984 pennies with no mint mark were accidentally struck on a different planchet, meaning they were made with the wrong metal composition or had a production error. This error makes them insanely rare and incredibly valuable. Here's a funny story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old jar of pennies at my grandma's house. You know, the I swear I'm going to count these someday jar. Well, I found a 1984 penny that looked a little off. I didn't realize at the time it could be the famous no mint mark error coin. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a rare one. But I did get super excited for about 5 minutes, and my grandma was just happy I finally cleaned out the jar. Back to the coin. Collectors and experts have verified that the 1984 no mint mark penny with this specific error can sell for a whopping $1.6 million. That's more than most cars or even a small house in some places. Crazy, right? And no, it's not just the metal. It's the error, rarity, and the crazy story behind it that makes this coin a holy grail for collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have one? First, look for the date 1984, no mint mark, so no D or S on the penny. Then, check the metal. These error pennies often have a different look, maybe a bit shinier or with a weird color. But heads up, don't just trust your eyes. Get appraised by a pro. And don't go trying to sell it on eBay without authentication unless you want $1 million disappointment. And what about the market? Believe it or not, the price for this penny has been climbing steadily because coin collectors love a good rarity with a legendary backstory. Auctions have seen these coins fly off the shelves at prices that'll make your jaw drop. So if you happen to stumble on one, maybe don't just use it for parking meters. So what's the takeaway here? That little penny you might be stepping over on the street could be a millionaire's ticket, or at least worth a heck of a lot more than 1 cent. Keep your eyes peeled, your coin jars organized, and always remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest treasures. If you love this dive into coin history and want more tips on spotting coins worth big bucks, money-saving strategies, and fun stories from the coin world, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join our treasure hunting tribe. Who knows? Your next video might just be about the penny that made you a millionaire. 1986 no mint mark Lincoln cent. The holy grail of pennies. Stick around because today we're diving into the penny that could turn your piggy bank into a treasure chest. And I'll share a hilarious personal story about how I almost threw away a coin worth more than my car. Spoiler alert, I'm still kicking myself. All right, let's start with the basics. The 1986 Lincoln penny usually has a mint mark, like a tiny little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a rare few, they have no mint mark at all. It's like finding a unicorn in your pocket. Why is this so crazy rare? Well, the U.S. Mint was supposed to stamp every 1986 penny with a D or S, but some sneaky pennies slipped through the cracks. They were accidentally made at the Philadelphia Mint, but didn't get the P Mint mark. Philadelphia pennies often don't have a mark anyway, so some pennies from that year are completely mint markless and extremely scarce. So, how rare. It's estimated that only a few dozen to a couple hundred exist. And that's why some collectors have been willing to pay up to $1.9 million for one. Yeah, you heard that right. Nearly $2 million for a tiny piece of copper. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions, here's a quick reality check. Most of us won't stumble on one of these. But that doesn't mean other pennies aren't valuable. In fact, coin collecting is like hunting for tiny treasures. Sometimes you find a diamond. Sometimes you find a slightly bent dime. I once found a penny stuck under my couch that looked weird. I got all excited, thought I was about to become a millionaire overnight. Turns out it was just a regular 2000 penny with a weird scratch. I was this close to making a YouTube announcement. Breaking news, I'm rich. Instead, I just got a lesson in disappointment. And now I check every coin twice. Back to the 1986 no mint mark penny. If you think you might have one, the first thing you need to do is not spend it. Yes, I'm talking to you. That's the money-making move. Next, get it appraised by a professional coin grader. Why? Because authenticity and condition matter big time. The better the condition, the higher the price. Quick tips for spotting valuable pennies. Look for missing mint marks on years when they should be present, like 1986 no mint mark. Check the coin's condition. No scratches, wear, or corrosion to do some research or get professional help. You don't want to accidentally toss a $1.9 million penny in your candy jar. So, what's the moral of the story? Whether it's the legendary 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny or some other rare coin, every coin could be hiding a fortune. So, next time you dig through your change, remember, you might just be holding the golden ticket, or copper in this case. If you love this video and want more tips on finding coins worth big bucks, or how to avoid coin collecting fails like my couch penny saga, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss out, and join our treasure hunting crew. Who knows? Your next lucky penny could be worth millions. Or, at least, you'll have some fun looking. 1987 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin that's been rumored to be worth a staggering $1.7 million. No joke. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's crack this nut wide open. Okay, before we get too carried away with dreams of instant million-dollar riches, let's break this down. The 1987 D penny? What makes it so special? And how did it end up being worth that much? Spoiler alert, it's all about the mint mark. So here's the deal. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the places where the U.S. Mint makes pennies. Usually, pennies from 1987 aren't super rare. But there's one particular version of this coin that's extremely rare, and that's what collectors are after. You know, finding a rare penny is like trying to spot a unicorn at a fast food drive-thru. Pretty unlikely, but if you do, you're a legend. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The penny that's allegedly worth $1.7 million isn't just a regular 1987 D penny. It's a perfect penny. We're talking flawless condition, uncirculated, with that D mint mark super crisp and clear. Some collectors even say it might be a double die or have some other super rare error. And that's what pushes the price into the stratosphere. Errors like this, they're the coin world's equivalent of a typo in a famous book. Suddenly, that copy becomes a collector's holy grail. But before you rush to dig through your change jar, a quick reality check. While some rumors place the value at $1.7 million, that's based on a very rare version in museum-quality condition. Most 1987 D pennies you'll find in your pocket are worth, well, about 1 cent. Yeah, I know, bummer. Speaking of which, I actually had a funny experience once. I was cleaning out my old jacket, and I found a handful of 1987 pennies, with the D mint mark, of course. For a split second, I let myself imagine being a millionaire. I Googled 1987 D penny worth, and almost spilled my coffee when I saw that $1 million figure. I ran to show my roommate, who took one look and said, "Dude, those pennies have been in your jacket pocket for 10 years. They're probably just good for vending machines." All right, so what does affect the value of a penny like this? Here are the main things to watch for. To the average person, these all sound like complicated coin collector mumbo-jumbo. But trust me, it's just about knowing what to look for. So if you want to find out if your coins are worth a fortune, here's a quick tip. Get a magnifying glass. Check the mint mark. Look for any weird doubling or extra letters, and maybe even snap a picture to share with a coin expert online. And if you do find that $1 million penny, well, don't spend it all in one place. All right, friends. Now you know the scoop on a 1987 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and why some versions of it are crazy valuable. But remember, most pennies are just pennies, and that's okay. It's the thrill of the hunt and the stories behind these little coins that make collecting so much fun. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more treasure hunting tips, coin stories, and money-making strategies that don't involve robbing a bank, hit that subscribe button. You never know when you'll discover your own piece of treasure. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin you thought was valuable, or if you just want to brag about your biggest penny jackpot. And don't forget to smash that like button because it helps more people find out about these awesome coin secrets. 1995 no joke. No tipo. Just crazy, crazy coin magic. Stick around because today we're diving into the wild story behind the 1995 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth more than a luxury car, and how you might already have a tiny fortune jingling in your pocket or your couch cushions. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, the 1995 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. What's the big deal? Usually, Lincoln pennies from 1995 come with a mint mark, either a D for Denver or a S for San Francisco, stamped right there on the coin, showing where they were made. But this one? No mint mark at all. It's like the coin skipped the stamp party. Now, you might be thinking, so what? It's just a penny. But here's the kicker. This penny is super rare because the US Mint accidentally made a small batch without the mint mark. That slip-up turned these coins into collector gold. I actually remember when I first heard about this coin. My grandpa was telling me about a friend who found one in his change and immediately thought he hit the jackpot. The guy ran to the coin shop so fast, I swear he left his wallet at home. Spoiler alert, the coin was genuine, and that lucky dude now drinks fancy coffee while the rest of us are still budgeting for instant. So, how rare are we talking? Estimates say there are only a few thousand of these no mint mark pennies out there. And since it's a collectible and a mistake, collectors are drooling over it. That's why one of these bad boys recently sold for $1.8 million. Mind blown, right? Now, why would a penny, something we use every day and usually ignore, be worth more than a house or a car? Here's the deal. Rarity plus demand plus condition equals serious cash. Think of it like Pokemon cards. You want the shiny Charizard, not the one you got in your Happy Meal. These pennies are the Charizards of the coin world. And for coin collectors, the thrill of owning something rare and valuable is like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar. Quick tip for you, always check your pennies. If you spot a 1995 penny without a D or S, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Just don't go spending it all on snacks. Unless you find one in your bag of chips, then maybe I'll take a bite. So what's the takeaway? The 1995 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hide massive surprises. Whether you're a coin collector, a history buff, or just someone who likes daydreaming about winning the lottery, this coin story shows that treasure could be in the palm of your hand, or your pocket change. If you enjoyed this and want more stories, tips, and strategies on coins worth money and how to spot them, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next video where we dig into coins that might just turn your wallet into a treasure chest. 2005 penny? No mint mark. Nada. Zip. And that's what makes it special. Sort of. Now, before you rush to your couch cushions or that old jar full of change, let me break it down. The 2005 penny was mostly minted in Philadelphia, and those usually don't have mint marks at all, which is normal. But the no mint mark penny craze exploded because some collectors believed a particular error or condition of this penny could be worth a fortune. Now, here's the million-dollar question, or in this case, $1.6 million question. Is a 2005 no mint Mark Lincoln penny actually worth $1.6 million? Well, it's complicated. While the official market hasn't confirmed any 2005 no mint Mark penny sale for that exact price, rumors and crazy auctions have put that number out there. Why? Because a handful of rare pennies in near-perfect, pristine, flawless condition have been claimed to fetch jaw-dropping prices. Think about it. A tiny coin, barely over an inch wide, could be worth more than a fancy sports car or a down payment on a house. But before you quit your job and start hoarding pennies, there's a catch. Most 2005 no-mint mark pennies are just regular pennies. Like the kind you get in change at the grocery store, and they're worth, well, you guessed it, 1 cent. So how do you spot the golden goose among the regular flock? Well, here's the deal. The value skyrockets if your penny is an error coin or in gem mint condition, meaning it's in flawless shape with no scratches, dings, or weird discoloration. Also, some collectors look for very specific minting errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or weird metal blends. These little quirks can boost the value dramatically. I gotta confess something. Years ago, my grandma handed me a handful of old coins. Among them was a 2005 penny with no mint mark. I thought, hey, maybe I just stumbled on $1 million. So I Googled it, got super excited, and then realized it was just a regular penny. Turns out, my $1 million penny dream was more like a 1 cent reality check. But hey, it got me into coin collecting and learning about what makes coins rare and valuable. So if you ever find a coin you think might be worth a fortune, don't freak out. Just do a little homework first. If you do have one of these rare 2005 no mint mark pennies in near perfect condition, what's next? First, get professionally graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. These grading services authenticate and rate your coin, which can seriously impact its market value. Then, you can sell through auction houses or specialized coin dealers. Just keep in mind, prices can vary, and hype sometimes inflates numbers beyond what the market actually pays. So, is the 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny really worth $1.6 million? Maybe, but most likely not. But that doesn't mean your pocket change can't surprise you someday. The real treasure is in the hunt, the stories, and yeah, maybe a little bit of luck. If you want more tips on spotting coins that could be hiding real cash, or just want to geek out over the quirks of coin collecting, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Because trust me, your pennies might just be worth a whole lot more than you think. 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Sounds like a boring coin, right? Wrong. That little copper disc could be worth, wait for it, $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.3 million. Stick around because today we're diving deep into the mysterious 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth a jaw-dropping fortune, and how you might just have one hiding in your couch cushions at home. And by the way, if you love finding coins that could turn your couch change into a gold mine, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Let's make those pennies rain. Okay, first, what's a no mint mark penny? Usually, pennies minted in Philly have no mint mark, while those from Denver have a D. But here's the catch. In 2016, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint were supposed to have the P mint mark, which is rare because Philly usually leaves pennies blank. Well, a small batch of pennies somehow skipped the mint mark and ended up in circulation. And that's huge for collectors. Mint errors equals collector gold. Think of it like this. Imagine every apple in a basket has a sticker, except one apple that slipped through without it. That stickerless apple suddenly becomes the star of the fruit market. Or in this case, the coin market.so. Why the insane price tag? The coin market loves rarity and errors. This penny is not just rare. It's basically a mint mark unicorn. Experts say only a handful exist. And you know what they say about limited supply and crazy demand? Boom. Price explodes. To put it in perspective. Most pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. This one, worth more than a house in some cities. You could buy a small island, a vintage car, or maybe even that unlimited taco plan you've always dreamed of, or maybe not, but still. Speaking of couch change, I remember one time, just a couple years ago, I was rummaging through my sofa cushions looking for my lost TV remote. Instead of the remote, I pulled out a handful of coins, mostly lint and a weird crumb that I'm not proud of. But among the pennies was a 2016 Lincoln penny that I thought, hey, cool, a coin from the year my dog learned to fetch. Didn't think much of it until a friend who's a coin geek took a look and said, dude, is that a no mint mark? I checked, and no mint mark it was. Long story short, turns out my lost remote is still lost, but I've got a potentially very valuable coin. So, never underestimate your couch change. It's like a treasure hunt where the X marks the armrest. It's a 2016 Lincoln cent, super common year. Check for the mint mark right under the date on the front of the coin. If it's missing the P mint mark, which it should have, you might have the rare no mint mark penny. Condition matters. If it's pristine, it's worth way more. If you find one, don't just toss it in your piggy bank. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service. They'll authenticate it, and that's when the real money talk starts. Oh, there you have it. The 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of copper that could turn your pocket change into $1 million jackpot. Who knew that a little coin from your everyday life could be worth more than your car, your rent, or maybe even your entire collection of novelty socks. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that might be worth a fortune, money strategies, or just fun coin facts with a sprinkle of humor, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. And hey, if you've got a weird or wild coin story, like finding a rare penny in a laundry machine or something, drop in the comments below. I love hearing your treasure tales. Hey there, coin collectors and penny hoarders. Have you ever held a penny and thought, could this tiny copper disc be worth $1 million? Well, what if I told you that one tiny penny, yes, just one, from 1969 with a special D mint mark, could fetch a jaw-dropping $1.40 million? No, I'm not joking. Grab your magnifying glasses and your lucky socks, because today we're diving deep into the mysterious and insanely valuable 1969 D Lincoln 1 cent. Let's go. All right, first off, why is this coin worth so much? I mean, we're talking more than a Tesla here for a single penny. Normally, a 1969 Lincoln cent is worth, what, like a nickel or two? Maybe a buck if it's in great shape. But the 1969 D, it's the unicorn of pennies, and here's why. Cut to close-up shots of the coin with annotations. See that little D right here? That means it was minted in Denver. But the real magic comes from a crazy minting error called the D over S double die. What that means, simply put, is someone messed up the stamp and put the D mint mark on top of the S mint mark twice. It's like the mint worker said, oops, let's add a little extra flair. Imagine if you accidentally double stamped your name on your homework and suddenly